Hello everybody, Reaper X1 here again, and we're also back into the NeuTecha project, starting up, working on the runway and such. We started the motel, or, well, maybe, it might not end up as a motel, but we'll see how that all ends up in a bit. But what I'm working on here is the runway, because, well, I want to get them citizens moving. They got to get here. And, well, as you can see, I got enemies showing up right in the middle. But before we get on to all of that, I do want to welcome you. Thank you for joining me. And as always, hoping you're having that good one. And what we are going to be doing here is we're just going to make up like a little runway beacon so we can line the side of the runway with. And then hopefully it'll make it a lot easier for us to line up on the landings. But like you know, we got that big old bird that wants to come in here. And we want to do it safely so our 4 citizens each time are going to survive. No crashes are allowed. I would hate to have that on my record as a pilot. Can't lose innocent civilians. Jesus, that would be horrible. Citizens may not be lost. I think that maybe that should be one of the rules of NeuTecha. No citizen left behind. So I think what I think what I might do here is I'm going to do like a beacon like this. And then I'll do something in between. Because if I just put a bunch of these down the line, that is really going to add up. And I know it looks like I'm getting a lot going already, which I kind of am. But I do want to kind of keep it to a minimum, but all the while still doing all the things that I wanted to do. Because I expect it to be laggy. It's only going to look smooth and nicely flowing for the video after it's done editing. I get that, that's fine. Unfortunately, in this little next few shots here, I did lose out on the audio. Because I wasn't expecting to do much battling, and then I was listening to the radio, and well, I don't think you want to hear what I was listening to. But anyway, gotta make sure this thing's all at least somewhat self-sustaining on its own. It will be linked with other ones, but just in case everything else around it gets blown up, I don't want to have it just defenseless. Especially when it's going to be partially defense. As you can see, it's got enough firepower on it to lay a little bit of a hurting on somebody. Yeah, like that. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what this is going to really have to face or how much it can take out before it's going to get destroyed, but I figure with that many batteries on it and the bits of armor I'm putting on it and the firepower that is on it, I shouldn't have to worry. But with the way the enemies are spawning in, because they're still coming in within, well, pretty close range of my anchored techs. So I'm kind of wondering, I was hoping I'd run that line down there, and it would keep them out. But, no, it doesn't seem to have that effect. So that's another thing, like, I've been hoping that they would do this eventually, and while they haven't yet, I'm still hoping it may happen, but, after you've had, say, a base somewhere, maybe there should be some specific requirements to enable this to kick in or something. But after you've been there a while, established, like, that's my turf, back off, man, kind of thing, that enemies could not spawn within a certain range. Like, maybe even per biome. Like, if I have a big enough base, or enough techs, or enough land coverage, per se, or, maybe the whole biome becomes a no spawn zone for enemies. It's like my kingdom, my area. So, I'd give it that little more of an RTS feel, because really, I think this game would be awesome if it went to a little bit of the RTS, especially with, like, the key bindings options that you usually get with those games, because you can make teams, and then you have, like, that team under, like, button 1, and then it's, like, tap 1-1, and it'll take you to it, like, no matter where you are on the map, and then you can do whatever you need to. So that would be an awesome feature to have, especially for something like this, because, well, we're going to have the battles, and we do want to have, like, the army. We might not get much use for it, but, we could set some stuff up. We'll make stories out of it if we have to. It's all good. But one thing I was noticing is my little battler back there. He's fairly decent for the salt flats. But a lot of the enemies, they keep coming in just off of there. And they're not really being too forthcoming to fight. But I really don't want to take the chance just to have them sit there and then let's just see what they'll do kind of thing. I'd rather be able to like, okay, you've been there long enough. I'm going to take you out. Then I just go after him and take him out. That little guy, though, the battery's being so low, it just gets stuck all the time. And I don't really just want to lower the treads and the wheels and that because, well, then it eliminates the whole reason for having everything to cut the rocks and all that so low. So I figure I'll make something a little different. I'm not really going to worry about the resources with this one. Like as far as harvesting them and cleaning them out. And that one was made for that clear out the 200 rocks part. With that in mind anyway. This one is to take out the 200 enemies that could spawn in. Could. Maybe they will. Hopefully they will. You know, at some point that would be cool. It would almost be like that 1,000,000-foot challenge. Where you fly up the 1,000,000 feet that I did, and then you come back down, and you see the holy crap big ring of enemies around you. That was British way. If it wasn't so laggy, it would have been an awesome battle. And if the enemies didn't despawn, if I got them off at a radar range for too long, would have been even better. Because I was looking forward to taking them all out, blowing them all up, just seeing the carnage, the blocks everywhere. It's going to be like, oh wow, like block heaven, dude. But then they started disappearing on me, and I was like, no, gotta get them quick. Gotta stay right in the middle, just kind of do a little wiggle around, and then, just go boom, 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 take them out. It's cool. But still, I missed out on a lot. And the lagginess, it did really. It took away from the fun a little bit, but after I rewatched it when it was all done and edited and all that, and I didn't mind it so much. But there's a couple things that I probably should have mentioned already by now. Because, well, they're kind of big ones, and I should say them before people stop watching, because some people do stop watching. But those are, just want to remind you about the Saturday Showcase. Where your cool and original techs could have their very own video. You just got to find the Showcase Auditions link in the description, follow it on through, post your in-game snapshots and/or save games to that thread that I've started, and from there, I will make the best dang video out of them I can. And other than that, there is also the NeuTecha project, which I'm working on a little bit by bit here and there. And there's a whole different thread for that. And there is a few things that you might want to build to get in on this even more, to really take part, see some of your other creations in videos that are going to be hopefully with who knows how many others. We're going to see what we can work out. Going to hopefully maybe even have everybody actually involved in the making of the videos. Hopefully some, at least with voice, if they want. If they want, I'm just opening it up for options. Not going to be a requirement. It's just that I can only make so many different voices, right? And I'm only good at them sometimes. And I'm not really that good at them. So I figured, if you guys wanted to add your voices to your characters, that would be really cool. We get a variety and we get more interaction from everybody. Yum, 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 yum. That thing just looks hungry. But yeah, if you're interested, that's another link that's down there. A pretty good one. And also, if you like that multiplayer, the deathmatch and stuff is what we got so far. There is teams available. And I've been getting games going every Sunday. Well, I've been trying to get that as a regular thing. I've got 2 or 3 gone or in the books so far. But if you'd like to get in on that, it's Sunday at 1 p.m. UTC -5. So, if you would normally watch the TerraTech stream, when it would normally be over, that's when I'll be starting. But on a Sunday. If that makes sense. I don't know. That's about the best way I can think of so far to describe that. Because I don't understand all the time zones and everything that great, So if anyone knows a better way of explaining it, fill me in, please. Because there is those comments. Oh yeah, those are pretty awesome. I'm liking those. Because that's where you guys can put down your awesome, We can get conversing and see what we can figure out and think up and suggest and have ideas and inspire. It's pretty cool. And there's also that like button, the subscription button, and then the dinging of the bell. Those aren't bad either, Hit them up if you like. Because I know I'd like. Because over the last few days there, I got an email from those fine fellers at YouTube saying that, well, we're going to change things up a bit. And seeing as your channel just does not quite meet our new requirements of 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of viewing time over the last 12 months, I made that one, okay? I got that one done. So I figured it out, and if I'm correct, I got 9,000 and some hours worth of viewing time. So I just need 1,000 subscribers. So really, if my memory serves me correctly, I really need 94 subscribers, and I break that 1,000 subscriber limit. And I got until February 20th to do so. So if you guys got any friends, that haven't subscribed and you think they'd be interested, hey, make the suggestion if you don't mind. It would be pretty sweet. That would be awesome. Because we can keep this channel at least making the little bits that it has made. Like, it ain't much, trust me. I haven't made, no. I am not one that's going to be bragging about, oh, I made so many thousands. No, not the case. But it does help, the little bits, right? Because that's basically the only thing that keeps my computers running is those little bits. And, well, that keeps this channel running. And that's kind of what I rely on. Other than that, I ain't got no money to throw at my computers. So, and this is the only one that can really run the games. And it being 11 years old, it's getting to the point where I know it's going to need something pretty soon. Like, I've already had to rebuy fans, rebuy hard drives, I got a used graphics card. It was given to me. That was an awesome timed thing too. Like, that just worked out great. And that's what's been keeping me alive as far as the channel goes. But then, that also kind of brings me to another thing. If you have to just leave your computer on standby when you go to sleep or something, if you don't mind, maybe throw on a couple of my playlists. Just let them play, just mute it. Turn the monitor off. Just let it play, Help me out with a little watch time. That'd be cool. If you happen to be awake, hit a like. If you haven't liked it already. Even if you got an extra YouTube account, you can just sign on with it, watch the videos again. Same thing, just leave them on at night. If you do, it's cool, but I'm just kidding, really. But, other than that, it does bring me to that paypal.me link. And that would really help the channel out, but it would also get your name entered into that draw for a 3D printed tech. And I'm hoping to do that by the end of February, but with these new changes and that, like, it makes enough of a difference where if there isn't really any participation, well, of course I'm not going to call a winner if there isn't no one to pick a winner from, but there might just be a little bit of a delay. It is going to happen, though. No matter what, we will have another 3D print giveaway. It's just a matter of the timing. So, things I'm working on. And if you would like to participate, it is all down there. But now, let's get back to this. I've been gabbing quite a while here, but I think we've been able to keep up pretty good with the build. And as you can see, I don't really use these big cannons from the Hawkeye too much because of the massive amount of room they take up on the front or anywhere. But I'm going to give them a try on this, I think, a little bit. Because I do like them. They have power. They seem to have a little more range than the megatons. But the per block amount of space used isn't always the greatest. But we need some parts first. And I'm kind of thinking what I want to do is I'm just going to probably craft up more of these geocore batteries than I really need. And as far as conveyors, they're always a good thing to have. And there's so many different shapes and sizes of them, you gotta really work around it. But I think as we get into this, I'm gonna probably... I don't think I'm gonna get this one done this video. It's been taking a while, but as you can see, we swapped out a little bit. Yeah, those big guns, they just take up too much room down there. So we gotta shove some flamethrowers now. And we'll put some megatons here. But I got me an idea for those other Hawkeye cannons. And you know what? I heard there's some big cannons coming. Big cannon, like battleship cannons. I haven't seen them yet. I haven't watched the streams. I kept missing them, and I haven't had time to really watch them, the recorded or the non-live ones. So I might just leave them as a surprise, because I'm pretty sure by the sounds of it, there's going to be an update soon, and they might be in it. So we'll see. Maybe they'll be unofficial. Maybe they won't be released into the game yet, but if they're in there, I'll find them. I got my tricks. That's how I found Big Bertha. And a couple other things I won't leak them though. No. Not trying to piss those guys off at payload. I almost made that boo-boo. Yeah, now we got a couple more down. I run out. Need more batteries. But yeah, I think what I'm probably going to do right around in here is I'm going to call this one, I believe, and we'll finish this build on the next one. So as always, don't forget about that Solar Showcase, or the NeuTecha project, or the Sunday Gaming, Monday Multiplayer, all that awesome stuff. So until next time, keep being that awesome, keep having a good one. Bye.